Hello, everyone. It's Steve with Aptera Owners Club. I'm feeling a little jealous. I got an email from one of our club members, and he was one of the WeFunder investors. And you guys remember back in 2020, Aptera did its first crowdfunding through WeFunder. And I was actually logged into WeFunder, and I was just about to pull the trigger, but I was just too chicken to do it at the time. And I'm kicking myself right now for not doing it. Here's my question that I asked actually on the WeFunder website. And I was asking about whether the solar panels would be able to charge the car while it drives. Will it charge the car while charging from the plug? And please make a foldable or removable third seat an option. I really wanted that at the time. And this was December 11th, 2020. You see Chris Anthony answered the question back then. He said, yes, solar panels will be able to charge the car while it drives. Yes, it will charge while from the plug, but possibly not when DC supercharging. And then please make a removable foldable third seat. We've been hearing this a lot, so it's back on our list. And then for a while, they told us that they weren't going to do a third seat. That's not happening. And then just recently at Fully Charged, they said the third seat is back on as a possibility. But that's something that I've wanted since December of 2020. Um, so I wish I would have had the cojones to pull the trigger on this investment. I'm kind of a pessimist and very risk adverse, so I did not do it. And then I ended up getting in during their later rounds when things were much more expensive. But one of the people that got in on the WeFunder round told me that their shares showed up on Carta and that their WeFunder shares had been converted to Class B preferred shares. Now I went back to my Carta and I found out that mine are Class B common shares, whereas the WeFunder people are Class B preferred shares. So those of you who got in on WeFunder, let me know, have you seen it show up on Carta, and are you preferred or common stock? And then he told me that he put in $1,000, which was the minimum investment. He didn't expect much of it. And he checked into Carta, and he has 2,597 uh, shares of Class B preferred stock. And that means that at current cost of $10.50, that's like over $27,000. So a $1,000 investment has now become $27,000 theoretically. Now, all of us, those of us who invested later on through Aptera's own investment site, and those of us who invested through WeFunder, none of our shares are currently worth anything in actuality. They are there's no until there is um, an event such as a sale, or like a liquidating event, such as a sale to another company or via IPO. Our shares are essentially not worth anything. But theoretically, this 1,000 shares is worth about $27,000, which is awesome. And I really wish I would have done that back then, but I didn't. Okay. So what I wanted to know what the difference between preferred stock and common stock was because I didn't quite understand. And it's a little bit different for everyone, but um, what's clear is that preferred stockholders have a higher claim on dividends, and in the event of a liquidation, let's say that Aptera folds, which we all hope it doesn't happen, but let's say they were to fold and their assets were sold off, their patents, their intellectual property, all their equipment, all that stuff was sold off, then preferred stock people will get some of those liquidation assets after the sale. Common stock people will get none of it. So preferred stock is definitely better in the case of a liquidation. Usually preferred stockholders have no voting rights. But I wanted to look for myself and looked at the SEC filing, and then I realized that Aptera recently filed their semi-annual report a few days ago, and there wasn't anything super interesting in it that we didn't know already. But it does note here that this company converted its safe notes in August 22 into shares of preferred stock. These are, I'm assuming, the WeFunder the people. At least this includes the WeFunder people. So the WeFunder people in August of 2022, so that was just last month, they got their shares turned into preferred stock. Other interesting tidbits that I noticed, so this was the most recent financial information on them. Their current cash equivalents are $19 million. And 6 months ago, they had $19 million. So even though they have been burning a lot of cash, they've raised enough cash that their cash uh, pot is still the same. So they still had $19 million on hand in June, and I think that's a good sign. If this cash equivalence was dropping over these 6 months, that would be a little bit problematic because we know that they're having a cash burn. They're having a cash burn, but they're able to raise money to keep up with their cash burn at this time. And we know recently they've had that infusion of $26 million from California, and I think their current crowdfunding round is probably going pretty well. I think. We don't know the details on that. Their assets have gone up as expected. And then other interesting things I found out looking at this is Aptera did apply for the economic disaster relief loan. This was the loan for small businesses that the government was giving out to help offset the pain of COVID lockdowns. And so Aptera got a loan to the tune of about $100,000. And I think most of this is forgivable. So that's good. A lot of my friends that are dentists and other small business owners also got these loans to help pay for payroll and rent and stuff like that. So that's good that Aptera got in on that since everyone else did. And then another interesting thing I found out is I'm learning a lot about how startups go by following Aptera. I was not well versed on it, but I still don't understand it extremely well. But I feel like I sort of understand much better than I did at least a year ago how these startups work. And you remember Brian Snow and Doug Louie joined their board of directors. Brian Snow is a venture capital guy, and Doug Louie, I think he's also kind of a venture capital guy. They joined the board, and then for joining the board, I'm guessing that's what this is for. They got stock options in the amount of $600,000, which are theoretically worth like $6 million. So it's good to be on the board of directors. This is what it talks about in terms of preferred stock. They're talking about their preferred stock here, and they say that their preferred stock will convert to common stock. Let me see here. So each holder of Series B preferred stock will have the right to one vote for each share of Class B common stock in which such Class B1 preferred stock could be converted. So these Class B preferred stockholders do get voting rights because eventually they do convert. So here we go, right here. Each share of Class B preferred stock shall be convertible at the option of the holder thereof at any time after the date of issuance of such share, blah, 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 in such number of fully paid and non-assessable shares of Class B common stock as determined by dividing the original applicable issue price for such series by the application of conversion price. And then it says right here, each share of Class B stock shall automatically be converted into shares of Class B common stock at the conversion rate at the time in effect for such series immediately upon the earlier of closing of the corporate sale of its common stock. So this is a IPO, or where if it gets sold to another company. I think that's how I read this. So once there's an IPO event, they will convert to common stock and have voting rights. So, and then before that, their preferred stock. So if they liquidate, they'll get money. So I think the preferred stock is definitely the stock you want to have. If you had the choice right now, because right now, if you have preferred stock, you have first rights of liquidation. So you'll get something out of your investment. You won't get nothing. People like me who have common stock at this point, if they liquidate, you'll get nothing. And then two, when they IPO, they'll convert to common stock, and at that point, you can sell your stock on the common market. So everyone's just the same. So you have some protection before the IPO, and then after you IPO, you're the same as everyone else, which I think is kind of the best of both worlds. So you WeFunder people, I salute you guys. Good job on you. You guys did the right thing. So, anyways, very, very impressive. I wish I would have gotten in with preferred stock at 40 cents a share. That's awesome. Looks like Aptera is still doing well financially. They are burning cash, but they're not dipping into their cash pool because they're able to raise cash as fast as they're burning through it. Hopefully that continues, and they'll be able to make it to production. Oh, another interesting thing I noticed here is they have revenue. They had revenue of $231,000. And I have no idea where they're getting their revenue from. I'm guessing it's from their buyout of Andromeda interfaces. I'm guessing that's the revenue they get from Andromeda because I doubt they're selling $230,000 worth of Aptera t-shirts and hats. That's their only other source of revenue at this point. Um, so I think this is from their acquisition of Andromeda interfaces. Okay. Well, tell me what you guys think. Did you guys get into the WeFunder round? I salute you guys. If you did you see your shares show up in Carta? And are they preferred shares? Let us know in the comments. The rest of us will drool in jealousy at your foresight. I really wish I would have pulled the trigger. I mean, I was right there. I was logged on. I was about to pull the trigger, and I was just too chicken to do it. All right. So thanks for watching, guys. Look forward to your comments below. And as always, I appreciate our supporting members. More and more people are joining. I really appreciate you guys, and have a great day, everyone.